Hey, what's going on? Thanks for watching. It's not a response, it's a Rob-sponse. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here in Cape Town, South Africa. It's Tuesday. I'm about to head out to a little bit to go out to a Long Street, Bree Street, the little party areas in Cape Town. So we'll see what it looks like on a Tuesday night. We just wanted to share with you guys some thoughts I've been having, some feelings, and of course, like and subscribe. And as you watch this video, just sort of listen and make an analysis of what I'm saying and let me know what your thoughts are. Please, in the comment section, kind of share what you're thinking. So, as you all know, I haven't been in the United States since April 19th. I was on a cruise. I left from Miami and I disembarked in Barcelona on May 2nd. So, I was on the water for about 2 weeks. Since May 2nd, I have traveled through Europe, and about a week ago, I got into Africa, and I'm going to be in Africa for like another week or so, and then I got to kind of figure out Kenya's e-visa, or if not, I'm probably just going to stop in Ethiopia, get a visa on arrival, and then go from Ethiopia to Thailand, and then from Thailand, maybe I'll go to Vietnam, or I'll just go from Thailand to Shanghai to Japan. So that's kind of like the plan right now. But I was so excited to get out of the United States. So when I separated from my job, I really had a lot of United States fatigue. I've been watching YouTube for the last 3 or 4 years, really since the end of 2023, maybe around the fall of 2023, I've been watching YouTube. And I was really infatuated with the idea of the world is so big and there's so much more than just the United States, which is true. And even though I was still working, my last company in healthcare, I was constantly looking at YouTube, constantly romanticizing and daydreaming about living somewhere outside the United States. The cost of living is better, the people are friendlier, the food is healthier, the pace of life is a lot slower. So for all that myriad of reasons, I was just really ready to leave the United States. And now that I've been out of the United States, and again, I guess it's like everything in life, you initially have that adrenaline, that rush, and then when things sort of settle in, maybe you reevaluate, you feel differently. So overall, the idea of living outside the United States, having a lower threshold to meet or a lower bar to meet as far as finances and, monthly bills sounds good. So I still am on that wave of I like to live outside the United States and have a lower monthly bill to pay. But I do miss certain little things about the United States. I do miss the ease of watching United States programming in real time. Yes, I know you can watch YouTube. You can watch the NBA Finals game after it happened. You can watch ESPN and the talking heads discuss sports after a day or two after the main event passed. But it's hard to watch it in real time. So you have to pay a premium to, have access to that stuff in these countries outside the United States in real time. Now, if I weren't looking at reducing bills, I guess I could order a YouTube TV or Direct TV and then use my VPN to still watch it. But again, Direct TV right now for the top tier is going for $130 a month. That's a bill I really don't need to pay. $130 is not really worth it. When, right now I'm still trying to get my remote income off the ground and I'm not making as much with the online content creation. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel going. I need to start doing some different things to push that along further. Then Instagram and TikTok are also works in progress. So I'm not making a whole lot from content creation right now. So it's a situation where I'm trying to minimize bills that aren't necessary, and Direct TV or YouTube TV using a VPN is one of those things I'd cut out because it's kind of wasting money right now. So I kind of miss that. My real time TV programming. Maybe it's just the hood dude in me, but I miss my Waffle Houses, Coney Island side breakfast. Here, the best you can do is a lot of places, maybe you can go get you a ham sandwich, or maybe you can go to McDonald's and you can get, sausage biscuit with ketchup on it. And it seems like over easy eggs are pushed a lot more than scrambled eggs. Like I'm classic, I like scrambled eggs, but it seems like here everything's about poached eggs or, um, sunny side up eggs. It's not really about scrambled eggs with cheese. It's not really a thing in Europe or Africa. So I miss that. I miss being able to go to Waffle House, getting my order scrambled cheese, or going to Coney Island, Detroit, getting my scrambled eggs, 2 eggs scrambled cheese, some sausage, some waffles, some pancakes. That's not really a thing here. You can maybe get lucky, go to a restaurant, and piece together something like that, but even that's not all that common. So I know it's a small thing, but I miss it. So real TV programming, being able to have a normal American breakfast, I miss that. Now, what I will say is being in Africa, at least, beats Europe in the fact that at least you can get your eggs, maybe your sausage or bacon here and there. Whereas in Eastern Europe, especially, it's all kebabs, it's all salads, it's all weird combinations of kebabs and salads. Eastern Europe was not my vibe for food, which is probably why if everyone, when I get back to the States, everyone's going to be like, oh, you look like you lost 10 pounds. Because a big part of my time was in Europe. And yeah, man, outside of eating way too much fast food, defaulting to McDonald's a lot, or going to places and getting smash burgers. I give Europe that. I guess I give the world that. Everybody in the world can make a good cheeseburger and a good smash burger. Now, if you want to find a cheeseburger, pretty much the world outside the United States can give you a good cheeseburger. I'll give you that. I've been eating way too many cheeseburgers and smash burgers. But yeah, you can find you a good burger, but obviously that's not good for your health. So I'm trying to get away from that, trying to get to more chicken and vegetable meals. And again, as a third thing, how hard is it to find a side dish of broccoli, a side dish of asparagus? I'm not a salad guy, so you can get salads here. When I say here, I mean like abroad outside the United States. You can't really get broccoli or asparagus as like an aside. So, and again, I haven't really done an Airbnb, so maybe if I had done an Airbnb, I could go to the grocery store. Checkers is big in Africa. That's one of them. Woolworths is big here in South Africa. And then maybe I, buy the actual vegetables and cook them. And then having an Airbnb, that would be a better situation. So maybe if I do end up getting an Airbnb for a week, whether it ends up being one in Ethiopia or Thailand or something. Because I don't know if Kenya is going to happen right now. This way my life is set up. For Brazil and Kenya, their e-visas kind of worked against me because, again, I'm on the move. I really don't have time to sit somewhere for like 2 weeks that I'm not really sure I like and then map out an itinerary because both places require you to book a flight, Brazil and Kenya, and you got to have your arrival and your exit plans. And again, I could do that, but it's just like I'm so fluid. It's hard to commit to that. And I hate to book that much money into a flight there and a flight leaving. I'm waiting for a visa to get approved. That's why typically when you do these things, right, you're sitting in the United States, you've got an apartment lease. Okay, you say, hey, job, give me PTO for a week. Hey, job, give me PTO for a week and a half. So, you can go ahead and book an e-visa to Brazil a month and a half early or 2 months early. Because, again, you have a place you're living, you're set there, you're just waiting for the time to pass for your vacation to come up so you can go and take your trip to Brazil, take your trip to Kenya. In my situation, I don't have a place in the United States. I don't have a place anywhere. I'm paying night by night. So wherever I stay is like where I pay. So I'm not paying at least anywhere. So for me, that's why I came to South Africa so much quickly, right? You guys know I was in Rome and I'm paying 120, 130 euros a night to stay in Rome. So I was like, while I wait to see if I can get a Brazilian visa or a Kenyan visa, that's crazy. 130 euros a night, that's expensive, And I didn't want to commit to getting an Airbnb in Italy, even if that price would have dropped to 70 or 80 euros, because then you're like way outside the city, you're on the outskirts, you're spending 30 or 40 euros every trip on Uber or Bolt to get back into the city, because who wants to sit in the countryside of the countryside of Rome, Italy. Now, I will say the prices here in South Africa are a little bit more affordable, so maybe that's something I could look at. Hey, maybe sit down for 2 or 3 weeks and just get a place and settle. I could kind of see that happening. I like Johannesburg. I like Cape Town. So I could kind of see it if I found the right price, maybe the right $600-700 price for like 2 weeks. Maybe I could, go ahead and get an Airbnb and then wait out a Kenyan visa or wait out a Brazilian visa. I know Brazil's going backwards at this point, so probably not Brazil. But the Kenyan thing, so maybe that's something I can still look at. But like I said, again, being in Europe especially, it was really expensive because you're dropping euro. So I'm out here spending money in Europe with the exception of Poland, where I'm losing money because of exchange rate. It's $1.20 to a euro. So I'm paying prices I wouldn't want to pay in the United States when you add on that euro conversion rate. So again, shouts out to South Africa because the rand is a lot friendlier to my pocket. So it has been better since I've gotten to South Africa. So could I sit around and wait for a Kenya visa? Because then even the Kenya prices are probably better than the South African prices. So I can see that argument. But I don't know, man. Like I say, I still like the idea of having to book that flight. Because the flight now that would get me to Kenya would be going through Angola. I had to sit in the Angolan airport for 20 hours before I could, connect to the next spot. And again, I don't speak any Portuguese. I don't know how I feel about being in Angola, a Portuguese-speaking country, for a whole day. And I don't know if I'm going to run into people that speak English. And Google Translate is a monster sometimes. So I don't know if I'm going to deal with that. Versus maybe it'd be easier if I fly back to Johannesburg and then I go through Ethiopia. And like I said, maybe I stay a day in Ethiopia because I did see those flight attendants when I was in Frankfurt. Ethiopian women look pretty bad. So I might go ahead and get that e-visa and put 2 or 3 days in Ethiopia and then roll over to Thailand. That's probably what's going to happen. Sorry, Kenya, you made it difficult for me. Maybe in 2 or 3 years or something, maybe some day in the future I'll come back to Kenya. But it looks like Kenya, Brazil are going to be on the back burner. Unfortunately, I really wanted to see both those places on this trip. But it looks like it's going to happen. So we are missing vegetables. We're missing American breakfast. We're missing the ability to put the American breakfast together like you normally could. What else? Oh, and my real-time TV programming. So those are the 3 things right now. So, I was video going too long, but I did want to drop some content today. And again, that's my goal, is to start dropping a video a day. So you can like and subscribe. If you have any insight, because you travel abroad or you left the United States, feel free to weigh in. If you're someone who's curious about traveling abroad, feel free to weigh in. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. It's not a response, Rob-sponse.